The joint memo from the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, National Counterterrorism Center, and U.S. Capitol Police warns that the most plausible danger comes from lone offenders who leverage election-related issues to justify violence. Analysts say the list of targets for domestic extremists includes candidates running for office, election workers, elected officials, and racial and religious minorities. The memo also highlights sites vulnerable to attacks, publicly accessible locations like polling places, ballot drop box locations, voter registration sites, and political party offices. Extremists may target these locations in hopes of swaying voting habits and undermining the electoral process. Experts tell Newsy voter intimidation is another major concern. Heidi Byrick says a trend is emerging where the line is blurring between extremists and some who claim without evidence that the 2020 election was fraudulent, especially in the swing state of Arizona.
Arizona has become a real hotbed for election deniers, and they're really mixed up with bona fide extremists like Proud Boys, people who are into QAnon conspiracies, anti-government militia types.
Recount, recount.
She says dozens of organizations that deny the legitimacy of the 2020 election have sprung up across the country, inspired by former President Trump. But Arizona is the headquarters for numerous anti-government groups, including the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, which she says has recruited local law enforcement.
There are people involved in the group, sheriffs, it seems like from every single state. And what's been going on lately is CSPOA and another sheriff's organization have decided that they believe in election denialism, right? The 2020 election was rigged, and that they're going to get sheriffs involved in rooting out voter fraud, which could lead to potentially some ugly conflicts between law enforcement and people who are trying to cast their vote.
In other swing states like Wisconsin, poll workers are preparing to handle potential disruptions.
If there is an election disturbance, if someone's refusing to leave the polling place and you've issued them an order to leave, we have a direct line, and there will be officers that will respond to support you.
Milwaukee election workers are being trained to tape off sections where observers can stand.
Place them up against the wall right here.
I have fears that there will be people outside of polling places who look intimidating, that may carry arms, because we're an open carry place, and intimidate immigrants who just became citizens.
In Arizona, for example, armed activists have monitored ballot drop boxes, leading to complaints from groups like Voto Latino. Threats of political violence may continue after the election, according to the Intelligence Bulletin, especially in states or counties that conduct recounts or audits. Extremists may target officials or organizations involved in vote counting, or judicial figures involved in lawsuits.